Hello and welcome to today's video, and today's video isn't a normal one. It's sort of a rant video about a video I made about a week ago. I'm Alex saying the N-word, where I explained why saying the N-word is fine under a certain circumstance. And if we look at the comments, we see someone who was clearly unhappy with my point. Words like, I'm guessing that's saying fucked, don't have the same history as the N-word. You clearly haven't done any research into the word itself, so you don't fully understand why people find it so offensive. I I'm going to read out my replies out. It's not about the history of the word, it's about how many people want to slander people for using it when they're not being racist when using the word. People who purposely get offended when use the N-word need to grow up. If people are calling someone the N-word in a hateful manner, then it's racist and that's wrong, which I stick by that point. If you're calling someone in the N-word, it's wrong, it's racist. You should be criticised for that. But if you're quoting the N-word, like I said somebody did in some news show, they quoted the N-word and then got slandered for it, then that's perfectly fine. If you're saying the N-word in not a hateful manner towards black people, which is what the word means, then that is not racist because you are not directing it towards a black person. And it's not about the history of the word, because how about, like I said in that video, how about we name words like faggot? That has history towards it. That is homophobia. Why is that word allowed? It's the exact same thing. It's homophobia and it's racism if you're directing it towards the party that the word is directed. It is about the history of the word, because if it wasn't used, how was people won't get offended? Wait, let me read that again. It is about the history of the word, because if it wasn't used, how it was people wouldn't get offended. I get that black people back in the day were racially abused through this word, but the fact that people get offended by it nowadays, when it's not even directed towards black people when some people say it, that is stupid. If the word was used to praise black people, people won't get annoyed if someone said it, would they? That is stupid because that is nothing to do with your original point. That is, I get where you're trying to come from. Like, oh, calling someone fantastic, if that was a hateful word, that's offensive, but that's got nothing to do with your original point. And then he put, are you black? I put, no. He put, why are you saying the N word then? So just because I'm white, I am not allowed to quote the N word or say it, not directing it towards a black person. That is his point. That is stupid. There are zero things wrong with me saying the N-word. In no way am I using the term in a hateful manner, which was true. I did not pull up a picture of a black person and say, you are a nigger at any point. No, I did not do that. I'm sorry, mate, but you can't say the N-word has been blown out of proportion. The word itself was made and constantly used against black people to put them down under and make them less of human beings. It's not being blown out of proportion. It's just a fact that we now realise how horrific the word actually is. Yet again, I'm going to go back to my original point. I get the N word is used against black people, which is wrong, which is racism, which I do not. I am totally against racism, in my opinion. I think it's wrong. Just like homophobia. If you're calling a gay person a faggot, then that is homophobia. If you're calling a black person a nigger, that is racism. People do realise how horrific the word actually is, but my original point, why aren't people using the word faggot as a horrific word? Why is this N word seen as this word that has been blown out of proportion? That is my point. This word is okay, the N word is okay, but the F word, no, that's fine. Oh, wait, that's what he meant. Words like faggot don't have to say history. I thought he said fucked. Which is also a stupid point, because faggot does have history, because gay people were not seen as medically correct back in the day of like 1900s. So how does that make sense? Homophobia was a big thing back in the day, as well as racism. Like I said, people who use the word in a derogatory way against black people are racist, and that's bad. But people who quote the word or don't use it in a racial way are not racist. I stick by that point. I didn't say they were. I said the word itself hasn't been blown out of proportion. It's a horrible word. Yes, it has been blown out of proportion. Many people are getting people criticised for quoting it or saying it in a non-hateful manner. So it has been blown out of proportion, in my opinion. It's a horrible word. That's your opinion. It's a horrible word to use against black people. I totally agree with that. But I don't agree that the word itself is a horrible term to use when it's not being used against black people. That was my point of the whole video. You seem to be missing my point. So, this is just a quick little rant video. Give it a like, subscribe, and goodbye.